thank you so much for being here. Welcome to Renaissance Heights. Hope you enjoyed the tour. And also, welcome to ACH Child and Family Services. My name is Evan Smith. I'm part of the Purpose-Built team. And I'm really glad to be here with you this morning and glad that you joined us for the conference. First of all, another big thank you to the Renaissance Heights United team. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And also a big thanks again to the team from ACH. It's great to be here on site. You'll hear a little bit more about ACH in just a moment from their CEO, Wayne Carson. I will say just briefly that in all my interactions with ACH, I've just been incredibly impressed by their thoughtfulness, their kindness, their commitment to innovation and high quality. So thank you. So earlier this morning, Larry provided a great overview. You had a chance to see the site, and now we're going to hear from four more wonderful people. First up is Dr. Wayne Carson, who is the CEO of ACH Child and Family Services. He was recently named Nonprofit CEO of the Year by the Fort Worth Business Press. That's pretty cool. As you might have picked up on the tour, a number of the Renaissance Heights partners have been doing great work in this community for a long time. That certainly includes ACH. They have a big birthday this year. They're turning 100, so it's their 100th anniversary. It's also very cool. And they have an incredible commitment to provide programs and services that really provide families and children with the resources and skills they need as they're struggling with life's challenges. So if you'll please join me in welcoming our first speaker this morning, Dr. Wayne Carson.
So let me tell you a little bit about ACH to start. We are celebrating our 100th anniversary this year, and we look very different than we did 100 years ago. ACH stands for All Church Home for Children, which was our original name, and we were formed in the spirit of collaboration to focus on one thing, and that is protecting children and preserving families. 100 years ago, what that looked like was women from 50 different churches coming together saying, you know, we all may not agree on our denominational approaches to spirituality, but we all believe that for this to be a great community, we have to have good schools, we have to have good jobs, we have to have good roads, but we also need to take care of the less fortunate kids and families in this community. And so let's put aside some of those minor denominational differences and focus on protecting children and preserving families. So we were formed in the spirit of community and collaboration. And 100 years later, we're still very proud that that is part of our essence in looking at how can we do what we do very well and how can we connect what we do with everything else that's going on in the community. Protecting children and preserving families. The way we look at that is, if you think of that hierarchy of needs, the basic need is ours to meet, safety and security. It's really difficult for all of the other good things to happen with kids and families. It's hard for a child to be successful in school. It's hard for a child to be healthy. It's hard for a child to enter the workforce successfully if they don't have safety and stability, loving adults surrounding them as they're growing up. So we see that as being our role in the community. And we've developed a continuum of services to do that because there are lots of different needs that families have in order to provide safety and stability, as you know. So we have a continuum of services, some on the prevention side, so when families are struggling with staying together, struggling with safety, struggling with being a good family, then we have services, we have counseling, we have skill builders, we have intervention services that can intervene before some of the bad stuff happens. But then we also have a whole range of services on the prevention side. So after abuse and neglect does happen, the ability to help children heal from those circumstances, and in some cases to reunify families. We've seen that most families don't want to hurt their children, they want to be together, and so some interventions can be delivered, then we can help them reunify. If that's not an option, then relative or an adoption placement are things that we're able to do. So, just a little bit about what we do on this campus. This is one of 3 campuses that we have in Fort Worth. This is our main campus, our largest campus. On this campus, we have a housing program for single-parent families with children. The goal is a 9 to 12-month program to try to help them get back out into an independent lifestyle. These are families that have not been chronically homeless families. They're families that have been able to stay together, have skills to be able to be independent, but they just need some help getting back on their feet, getting some things taken care of, and getting back out into the world of independence. We have some fantastic long-term programs in this community for chronically homeless folks or folks that can't reach independence. So we didn't want to duplicate what the community already did well, but we really saw a niche of helping families bridge a difficult gap and get back out into independent lifestyle. So that's one of the programs here. We also have a really exciting program that's relatively new for us. It's only about 3 years old, but it's called Supervised Independent Living. And it's designed to bridge that gap of kids that have aged out of foster care. And if you know anything about the world of foster care, there's a tremendous failure rate of kids that turn 18 in foster care and are expected to be independent. I equate it to my life. When I left home at age 18 to go to college, I felt really strong and independent because I knew all I had to do was keep a quarter in my pocket and get to a payphone if everything fell apart, and I could call mom and dad and they would come pick me up even though I was 1,000 miles away. So I had a safety net. Our kids don't have that. They don't have anybody that they can call, and so to expect an 18-year-old to be able to be successfully independent is unreasonable. And so the Supervised Independent Living Program is a very exciting way to bridge that gap where kids can have an experience that is less supervised and living in a family, but more supervised and being out on their own. So they have a dormitory style setting right here. If they do well there, they can go into an apartment in the community and get a lot of support to work on vocational goals, educational goals, and social skills goals. That is a program that is funded through our state child welfare services, and we operate that program in North Texas. We also have a new building that you'll see next door, which is a new shelter for runaway and homeless teenagers that is going to be moving here in December. We already operate that program on another campus, but we're selling that campus to move more programs out here, and that will happen later this year. One of the things that you don't see on this campus is all of the work that we do in the community. We have a program that supervises about 2,400 children that are in foster care in the whole 7-county area here in Fort Worth. We do a lot of work. We have a Safe Place program, which when a child finds himself homeless or when the police pick a child up and don't have a place to take them, we have a program that can respond within 30 minutes, provide intervention, try to find a family connection, and if not, we can bring that child into our shelter. So we do a lot of work in the community, a lot of work, non-residential types of services, but having a backbone of places that kids can live if there's not another solution is a really powerful part of our continuum of services. Why are we so excited about what's happening with purpose-built communities? Well, we know, and you know, that solving this issue of child abuse and neglect is an extremely complicated problem. It involves unemployment, it involves housing, it involves health, it involves addictions, it involves life skills, it involves early teenage pregnancy, it involves poor health care. So it is an extremely complicated problem. So complicated problems require complicated solutions, and that's the opportunity that this purpose-built model provides to us, is we can bring our basic safety and security programs to the table, and we can connect those with good education opportunities, with good health opportunities, with good employment opportunities, with good housing opportunities. And the cohesiveness and the comprehensiveness of that approach, we think will offer some extremely exciting opportunities for real sustainable services to help kids grow up in what our founding mothers wanted to focus on 100 years ago, and that is protecting children and preserving families. So that's our story. Just one last note, you are currently sitting in the Bell Tower Chapel. This is our social business venture. We turned this into a wedding business about 3 years ago, and we did 150 weddings in this space last year, generated about $600,000 in gross profit, about a 10% margin, but it's really a quadruple bottom line for us. The revenue from this building pays for the operations of this building, so it doesn't detract from our ability to take care of kids and families. It actually contributes some revenue back into our programs to help us be able to do more for the kids and families that we serve. It is good PR for us. I'm downtown a lot, and I regularly hear, "Hey, I got married at your place last year. Tell me a little bit more about what you guys do." So that's always a struggle that the not-for-profit world has, is helping people understand. And then the last thing it does is it's a great first job for some of those 18 to 20-year-olds that are trying to age out and learn work skills. They didn't have kids like my dad said, "Okay, if you want to be successful at work, get there before the boss, leave after the boss, and work all day long." You know, just simple stuff. Our kids don't have those kind of messages, and so we can bring them in. They can set tables up, they can park cars, and they can get coaching about what does it mean to be a good employee, and those skills can be taken and launched out into the real world. Just a final note, we are celebrating our 100th anniversary last year, and we had a really big event downtown Fort Worth on Sunday afternoon. And one of our alumni came, and he really did something that reminded me of how important the work that we're all doing is. He is a country western singer now, and very successful, and he wrote a song that symbolized his life before coming to ACH. And it's called "Raised on the Run." And he told a story about being in an alcoholic family. His dad was a bricklayer, and they were constantly moving either to a new job or running away from the law or just running. And so the inspiration for his song was, now that I'm an adult, people ask me where I'm from, and I didn't have an answer until I came to ACH. And so he wrote a song to explain that pain that he had when people said, where are you from, and not being able to have an answer because he was on the run his whole life. So that's the opportunity that Purposeville provides for us, is a place for kids and families to say, I'm from there, and to be proud of it. Thank you.